Do you want to know about 5 high-paying dividend stocks? Well, today I'm going to go over 5 of these stocks which each give you a yield of 10% or more. Let's go. Hey, welcome back guys to another video. My name is Nick. If you like this content, hit that subscribe button down below. I know a lot of you are enjoying the content recently and I really appreciate the support. So hit that red button down below and drop a big thumbs up as well if you're enjoying this. So high dividend paying stocks have always appealed to investors, especially to the newer investors out there. Because like, take a second and think about it, right? If you can own a stock that pays you a 10% dividend every single year, it doesn't really matter how the stock performance does in that year, as long as you at least break even on it, that 10% is going to boost you up even more. So it kind of seems like a no-brainer that you should go in there and invest in these companies because you're almost guaranteed a 10% yield. Now, like I mentioned, all 5 of these companies do pay a dividend of at least 10%, but there's usually a reason why companies pay out a dividend this high. So what I'll do is I'll go through these 5 companies. I'm not going to go too in-depth with these because some of these companies I'm not too familiar with, but I did make it a point to research and find companies that are fairly large and they aren't like some random one-off companies. So a lot of you might have heard of these companies, or at least one of these 5 companies, which might make it more appealing for you to consider investment in. So before I reveal these 5, I want you to think of what possible reasons a company could have for paying out such a high dividend. 3 off the top of my head would be, first, maybe they're trying to entice investors to get into the stock. The second could be because the stock performance is fairly poor, so they're paying out their investors a dividend to keep them in the stock. Or the third and worst case would be that they've kind of gone down a rat hole where they've been increasing dividends quarter over quarter or year over year, and now they've gotten to the point where investors actually expect this dividend hike. And if they don't do that, then there's fear that investors could just sell off the stock, sell off their shares in it, and the stock price would plummet. So that's why these companies sometimes feel pressured to keep increasing dividends, even though sometimes they might not be able to afford it. So whatever the reason may be, just remember to be cautious when you're investing in high-paying dividend companies. A lot of these companies that I mentioned are paying out a very high percentage of their income. So that could mean bad news in the future because they're going to reach a plateau where they might not be able to afford dividend hikes, and then that could again cause the stock to drop, especially in the short term. Another thing that I would like to note is that you shouldn't really expect much growth in these stocks because again, since they're paying such a high dividend, it's usually because stock performance is fairly mediocre or poor, so they're kind of compensating investors for actually investing in the company by giving them a dividend. So that being said, the companies that I have listed vary in range from around a few $100 million to around $50+ billion. So there's a wide range of companies here that you can take a look at. Now, another thing that I kind of made sure to do when I picked out this list is I picked companies from different sectors. So you technically and theoretically could invest in all 5 of these and be pretty well diversified, but that's something that you will have to decide if you want to actually have exposure to each one of these industries. I think that it's important when you're investing in high dividend paying companies to properly diversify your portfolio, because if one sector goes down, not only will the stock get hit, but that dividend might get hit as well. So just keep that in mind. They could always lower the dividend whenever they want to, so it's not a guarantee. So you always have to remember this when investing in dividend stocks, especially high paying dividend stocks. So these 5 are actually in no particular order. But anyways, let's get started with the first one here on the list. So first up here we have STERICYCLE with ticker symbol SSRCLP. So these guys are an industrial and waste management type company, and they pay a dividend of 10.82%. Next on the list we have CENTURYLINK with ticker symbol CTL. And these guys are a telecom technology based company, and they pay out a dividend of 12.24%. Coming in at number 3, we have SUNOCO, which is under ticker symbol SUN, and these guys are kind of a basic materials, kind of oil and gas play type company, and they pay out a dividend of 12.6%. Number 4, we probably have one of the larger companies on this list, if not the largest, and that's BLACKSTONE Group with ticker symbol BX. And these guys are a financial asset management company that a lot of you I'm sure have heard of, and they pay out a dividend of 10.38%. Now coming in at number 5, but before I get into that actually, remember to join my Facebook group, guys. It's down in the link description below. Completely free. We have over 120 members now. Great discussion going there. I reveal a lot of information on there that I don't reveal on this channel. So click that link down below and join. Here, I'll wait for you. Did you join? Alright, awesome. Okay, so getting into number 5, like I said, we have ICAHN Enterprises. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. Is it ICAHN? Either way, ticker symbol IEP. And pretty much to sum this company up, they're a conglomerate, so they're made up of many different businesses and different sectors and well-diversified company, and they pay out a dividend of 10.04%. So again guys, these 5 companies are just 5 that I found are fairly well known, fairly large, so you're not really going to have that risk of them just going bankrupt overnight necessarily, but there is still risk over the long term that they will cut their dividends if times get tough. So you always have to keep that in mind when investing in these high dividend paying companies. There's a lot of drawbacks to them. Yes, the 10% yield seems amazing right now. It's a guaranteed 10% in a year. But just remember that they can cut this at any point, and not only will that affect the dividend payout, but it'll also affect the stock because a lot of investors will start leaving it and the stock price will start dropping. Either way guys, hope you enjoyed this video. This was a fun one to make. And like I said, I know a lot of beginners enjoy watching these kind of videos on dividends, high paying dividends. So hope you found some value in this video, and don't forget to invest positively guys, and I'll see you in the next one.